Hey guys, happy Friday. Happy first math test day. Are you as excited as I am? All right, so this is one of the most difficult math tests all year. Kind of is beginning your fifth grade math test taking career, if we want to go that far. It's really important to me that you try very hard on this. For all my friends that put in the work, you showed up on time, you tried really hard, you even did some homework. I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you. And for the people that could have done better, I hope that you see that today when you get your results and say, you know what, I'm not accepting this. I'm going to work harder and I'm going to do better. I just wanted to review with you guys really quickly just a few concepts and then wish you luck. Mrs. Robinson's going to help guide you into Think Central, and you're going to take this first test. Okay, so let me go to my camera and let me change it. Now, let's go over a couple things. You're going to have to know how to compare fractions, right? So if you have a half compared to 3/4, okay? Your brain already knows that that's blurry. Oh, your brain already knows, hopefully, that 3/4 is just a larger fraction than 1/2, right? But remember, the process to figure out which one's bigger is you take a denominator, multiply it by the other numerator, and put the number. That tells you which one's bigger right there. Okay? So that's how you compare fractions. A couple of the problems says which one is true, and they will have 4 different comparisons. Only one of them is true. The rest of them will be false. Like, for example, if this was false, it would tell you that 1/2 is bigger, right? And there's 4 options, and one of those is correct. Another thing that is going to happen is they're going to have one fraction like this, and they're going to say, circle the one that is equal. It'll give you like 3/4. It'll give you like 2/3. It'll give you like 5/10, and it'll give you like 8/10. Okay. And there's a couple different ways to do this, but if you compare each of them and you put them next to each other, you do 2 times 3 is 6, 4 times 1 is 4, 6 is bigger, so those are not equal. And you could literally put 1/2 next to each of these fractions until you find one that is equal to 1/2. Or 1/2 is not going to be the fraction because that one's a little too easy. But see how these are both 10? So those are equal. Therefore, 5/10 is the one that is equal to 1/2. Okay, so you're going to have questions like that on today's test. And then, of course, you're going to have questions like this, like saying, hey, if you had 5 and 1/2, what is that as an improper fraction? Well, turning it into an improper fraction, you won't have any whole numbers. They'll all be halves. So remember, each of these wholes, and I'm just going to pull out 5 wholes, each of them are going to be 2 halves because that's how many halves make a whole. So the question is, how many entire halves do we have? Well, 11, right? And the way that you do that is you multiply these 2 numbers and then you add the top number. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11, so 11 halves. And then also they'll ask you to do the opposite too. If you had 11 halves, they want you to turn that into a mixed number. So what you would do is you pull out as many 2's from 11 as you can. So you get, I'll tally them, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I can't pull out another one because that would cost me 12. So I could pull out 5 wholes, and that only cost me 10 halves. So there's still 1/2 left. So that's how you go from that process to that process. And then last but not least, adding and subtracting mixed numbers. The word problems are going to be really familiar. You should be really familiar with them because I've shown them to you in challenge questions and such. So the first step, of course, Beyonce says it the best, is say my name, say my name. These would both be turned into fourths, right? You got to figure out how many fourths is equal to 1/2. The way you do that is take a magic number. And you don't just put that magic number here. You have to multiply it by the old numerator, right? Here it is 2 because the old numerator was 1. And then down here, times 1 because it already was fourths. Now, if I have 2 and lose 3, that is illegal. So a lot of people, when they borrow, they want to just put a 1 in front of the number because that's how we learned how to borrow. I don't want you to borrow like that because what is the whole? Well, I need more fourths. So we take the whole and turn it into fourths. How many fourths is the whole worth? 4 fourths. 4 fourths plus 2 fourths is 6 fourths. And 6 fourths minus 3 fourths is 3 fourths. And 1 minus 1 is nothing. Okay? All right. I am not going to take any more of your time. So the best of luck to you on this first test. You can only do as good as you can do. And then after you take this test, we'll look at the results, and then we'll come up with a plan on our next, the next action that we are going to take, depending on how we score on this test. All right? Best of luck, and I got a lot of faith in you guys.